Okay, here we are. I'm expecting my little doggy to come running over again. Oh yes, here he is. Come on, Chub. Oh yeah, little buddy. Oh, okay. Well, it's warmer here today. It actually is up to 74 here this afternoon. And not too bad, it's about right for this time of the year. But of course, this is going to be short-lived. We'll probably only see about, 3 or 4 days of this, and then we'll go back down to the, like, 55 to 59, something like that, which is about normal. And it'll probably be that way for a while. But at least things will be growing outside, and so we'll do that. We'll continue to water. I still have to go outside and hook up my irrigation system. I always take the valve off completely off my irrigation system because it has frozen and cracked twice. Once when I first moved in the house, I found it that way. It actually cracked through the brass valve, and then let's see, 2 years ago I had to buy a valve again because even though it was covered, it still froze and cracked in 2 places, the valve did. So it gets down pretty cold. I mean, it gets down to minus 15 sometimes in the wintertime. So you wouldn't think so here, but yep, it does. But anyhow, what I've been doing, I've been opening up this other Icom IC-745 and taking a look to see if the speaker itself is actually dead. I have another speaker to replace it, that's not a problem, but looking at this other speaker, it still looks like it's okay. I don't see any major rips or tears or anything like that in it. And so anyhow, so I figured, well, let me check with the meter and see if it's still 8 ohms, because it's only an 8 ohm speaker, I know that for sure. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing there, and I took the cover off, and actually the paint on the whole rest of the radio, except for the very top of it, is the only place that actually is just rusted a little bit. I mean, it's surface rust, and it's just barely under the paint. So, you know, I'll probably use 4-aught steel wool on it, and then I'll probably repaint it with something that's close. I'm going to try and find the right paint, but it's always hard trying to match stuff like this. So anyway, let me take a look here, see what you can see. And there's all the screws I pulled off of it. And a few screws. Right there. One of them, actually, the head was actually snapped off of it. Let's see if you can see this now. Alright. And what we're concerned with is this is the socket that came off of here. This is for the speaker. And the speaker itself looks okay. I figure, well, we'll just hook it up to a meter and we'll see what it does. And it says right on it, it's 8 ohms, so we shall see. Let's see, I gotta put this somewhere. Well, I'll show you number one. I'll show you what it looked like. Let me back up. Time to back up. There we go. There we go. As you can see, I cleaned it actually with alcohol first, just so I could tell if there were surface rust there, and sure enough, there is. You can see it all along there and there, and where the speaker is, there's this grill cloth there. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to clean that up. That's one thing. And let's see, the other one was, apparently somebody had put either tape or something on this, I don't know why, on the switches up on top. And with my X-Acto knife, it actually comes off. So I'm going to have to clean that off. And I don't want to go ahead and mess up the lettering underneath there. So I'm going to have to go ahead and clean this off. And yeah, it does come off. And then I'll go ahead and clean it and see if I can find some matching paint too. And clean this top part off. Oh, there it is right there. So you can see it's this calibrator. So that comes off okay. But yeah, I guess it was old tape that was on there and just got kind of on the crusty side because it was on the top of this and around here. So we'll clean that off too. We're doing this. And then, oh yeah, and then we're going to test out the speaker and see if the speaker is 8 ohms. That's the next thing. So we shall bring the speaker over. I'm just going to sit it on top since it's lit up. Here's my meter. I'll see if I'll tilt it up. Well, we'll see if we can tilt it up. Let's take a look and see. There we go, it's on ohms. And we'll see if the speaker still works. I don't even know. Oh yeah, here we go. 7.8 ohms. Yeah, you can see that. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with the speaker. The speaker itself is fine. I wonder if the socket's bad. That's the other thing. Maybe the socket's bad on it. Let's see. It's got a couple of spots here where you can see the metal on the inside there. I'm going to see if I can get to that. I don't know. Let's see if that'll work. If I can test that out. Yep. Yep. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. You were starting to work there. Oh, there it is. 8 ohms. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with the socket. So why this guy did that, I have no idea. According to this, the speaker is fine. It should have worked. Now, I don't know why it didn't. The only other thing would be, well, that doesn't make any sense either. Because even the pins on the board, they're fine. Because all this guy did was led 2 wires and attached them to the same speaker and let them outside to attach. So I don't know what he was thinking of. So yeah, I'm just going to clean this with deoxit and put it back together, and we'll see if this sucker will work. But I'm not going to replace the speaker at all. So there you go. Whenever you go ahead and find something like that, hey, test it with a meter first. You never really know for sure. And the pins it goes to, or these 2 pins are right here. Let's see if I can zero in there. Hold on. Yeah. The 2 pins are right there. My finger is right there. And the socket just goes right in there. So yeah, I don't know why they bother it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. I was thinking, well, maybe he shorted the wires out somehow. Because the socket goes on there fine. No problem. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to clean this thing up, and then I'm going to go through and, well, I already did take a look at, if you look inside this thing also, let me get back up again. If you look inside, there's a lot of these sockets that aren't connected. But this thing had a lot of option boards you could get for it. So you could have it for FM, you could have it for other stuff. So there's actually a spot for one board here and one board there, and that's what all these wires and sockets are here for. They are not actually, there's nothing actually missing except for the option boards. Then the other thing was I checked to make sure that none of the electrolytics were swelled up or anything like that, and it looks like everything's fine there. Even the small ones, nothing is swelled up. The RF board seems fine, there's nothing wrong there. So the only other thing would be to take off the bottom and go for that too and check all those boards out. But from what I'm seeing here, yeah, that's the reason it was working the first time I plugged it in. So I don't see anything else wrong right now. Nothing, no glaring problems. So it should be pretty easy, I would think. So anyhow, there we are. This is sort of part one of checking on this IC, this Icom IC745. And that's going to be it for now.